My name is Optimus Prime. Welcome to the No Answers podcast. People of Earth, if you are listening, you must help us in our quest to find the Allspark. I send this message out to any survivors among the stars.
Oh my god. Like, I don't even like Transformers, and that gave me chills.
That was legit.
Really good.
Whoa.
Hit me up, Michael Bay. Put that back over there.
Thank you, Joey. That is our special guest, Joey. Are we recording right now at all? Please tell me we got that.
We did get that. Yes.
Okay, good.
Good.
Welcome.
That was beautiful. Welcome.
Jesus, welcome to episode 2. That he didn't even say our podcast name right, and I'm actually at this point I'm on board with just changing the name to fit that. You said No Answers Podcast, which at this point
accurate.
That's what it's called, No Answers Podcast. We're changing the name because that's how good that was. Wow.
Yes,
Okay.
Other than that, it was
Probably
beautiful.
won't be any answers.
Other than that, it was beautiful. I mean, other than the obvious glaring flaws, I kind of digged it. Digged it. So yeah, welcome to episode 2. I hope you enjoyed that. I did. We're gonna talk about some other things later, and I need you to do some more impressions. That was Joey, our resident special guest. He's gonna be pretty common if we can get him to come and show up.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be part of the show. We were gonna have like a gag where like he was our special guest every single episode, and then episode 1 came and.
No show.
Episode 1
week.
went.
Was he here last week?
You guys didn't.
I didn't see him. Did you see him, Trey?
His skill sets are.
Trey, I didn't see him, Trey.
I don't.
There's a lot of
Maybe he
stuff
was
in here.
lurking in the window.
It's possible he could have been just watching us.
Maybe.
A lot of stuff in here to hide.
Optimus Prime is always watching over us anyways, so you know.
So just so we get it out of the way before minute 1 hits, I am Trey. We're gonna introduce ourselves this time because we got like 5 minutes in last time. So
I am Kiko.
yeah, and this is English there doing the knobs, and
Yeah, he is.
as we said, we got Joey here doing voices.
Yeah, he is.
Joey is a professional voice actor.
I don't know.
Should be.
Joey should be, okay?
Yeah.
He is in my eyes.
That was good.
That was great.
Again, I want to say, like, I don't like Transformers. That was good. I don't know.
Transformers is
I just
awesome,
don't
man.
really. I didn't grow up on it. I grew up on other things.
Okay,
Like
that's all
Scooby Doo was more my thing.
Oh, okay.
Can you do Scooby Doo?
I could.
Optimus Prime is
I can do
cooler than
Bane
Scooby-Doo.
from
Batman?
yeah.
Let's hear the Bane.
I can only do one line.
What is it?
It's the fire rises. The fire rises. Really, it's only on the
Here's my
rises. Like I can
reckoning.
kind of like the. It's the.
Strawberries have lots of fiber.
Damn it! That's better. Stop. Get out. Okay, I liked you until you showed me up.
Bye, everyone.
Don't leave! Joey, don't
I
leave!
wonder what this is doing to our sound right now.
Yeah, it's probably
Oh
sorry.
God, like a
Sorry,
hurricane.
Sorry guys. about
Now
that sound issue.
I'm actually angry now. I'm furious.
The Fast and the Furious.
Oh, okay. I'll really go then. Oh,
No, I want you to stay at this point.
okay.
We should
No.
probably go on the show right now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we were gonna make this one
sorry,
shorter.
guys.
We're doing well.
Yeah, we are.
So that is our introduction.
That was great.
That was good.
was
So
awesome.
moving on to the good news segment.
Yes.
Personal news. What's going on in everybody's life?
Yeah, what's going on?
Tell us some good things.
English? Sure.
English. Share.
Nothing really going on. Just buying a house. That's all.
You're buying a house. Wait, really?
Yeah.
How do I not have a house yet? You have a house.
Yeah, I do.
You just got married. Do you have a house?
I have a house.
Yeah.
And you're buying a house.
Yeah.
I have a cat.
Hey, that's a start.
It's not. It's not a start at all. Nobody like I'm a homeowner this year. I followed the traditional path. I got a cat, and here I am signed to that deed.
It's better than nothing, all right?
Maybe you could live here.
No, I could live in the pool house at this point.
Well, they are fixing up the basement.
That's true.
Yeah.
You live in your basement?
Yeah, we're fixing up a big
You
construction.
live
going on
10
right
minutes
now.
away from me. I wouldn't be that much of a
I mean,
commute.
true. Maybe I could see what I could do. Maybe.
Okay, can I have a cat?
Yeah, definitely. I love
Awesome.
cats. Not really, but yeah, sure.
Well, okay. You changed your mind on that. All right, so that's the good news.
Yeah.
Wait, no, we didn't do anybody. We stopped at house.
Well, because
I'm
you were-
buying a house.
you
Oh,
because you were just so focused and just like on English buying a
That,
house.
I was
so-
projecting a little bit when I said we all focus on that. I'm sorry. That's cool, I guess.
Joey just got
What?
married. So
Yes,
that's
congratulations to Joey.
Congratulations,
Are we allowed to clap? Can we clap? Is
Yeah,
this too
let's-
loud?
why not?
Oh, he's gonna get a camera? Oh, that's.
That's Joey's hand right there, folks. in
Oh,
case
the
you don't know.
ring.
Oh, there it is.
Getting the
There's
sh-
the ring. Lord of the Rings.
Nope.
No.
So, so Yeah, that's cool. What about you? What did you do lately? You got like a couple days off work because of the pipes.
Yeah. It was I mean, I still worked.
Oh.
I still work. Kiko first.
So nothing good happening in our lives.
I
We
mean,
still worked.
Yeah, our basement's getting done. That's good news.
Oh yeah. That's
so
awesome.
Busy.
For
So
sure.
we
For
get
sure.
that
For
all
sure.
done.
That's
So,
cool.
yeah.
I saw you and Ashley went to somewhere special recently. Like got all dressed up.
That was Joey's wedding. We look pretty good, right?
Oh, you got married?
Yeah.
Hey!
Hey!
More good news. We just keep it going here.
Now you bought a house too.
Hey! All right. I guess
Yeah,
I'll
why
go
don't you
on.
start?
Okay, sorry.
And in my life, good news is,
What's happening?
you know, I
You're
I
about
saw
to get a
you-
lot of free Chick-fil-A.
did get a lot of Chick-fil-A.
Who doesn't love Chick-fil-A?
Nearby at a certain special Chick-fil-A to me, we had a receipt day where if you pay a certain amount of money, which is not how most people see it, you get that equal amount of money later for free.
It's whatever you buy. So whatever you buy that day, you'll come back on another day and get exactly what you bought that day on that day for free.
Logo.
Does that make sense?
He's explaining it weird, but essentially I get a lot of money on the 14th. I'm really excited about it. It's in chicken, but it's currency. So I'm really excited about that.
That's good.
So that was my good news. So just to have it straight, house, married, redoing the basement of the house that you own,
Yeah.
chicken for free.
You missed another
Cool.
house. You got married and a house.
Yeah, I got a house.
Well, you just got a house?
I bought a house. Yeah.
Yeah, he bought a house.
Why? Why is everybody doing cool things? Why are you buying a house though? Can we talk about this? What are you doing?
I'm buying a house.
Just to do it?
Yeah.
Is it to spite me?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's what it felt
I
like.
don't believe that.
It felt.
I don't think so.
No, it felt
we
personal.
Love you, Trey. We love you.
You
guys
might
love
love
Speak
me.
for yourself.
Joey, how do you feel about me?
We all bought houses at the same time. We talked about it beforehand.
That was not an
just-
answer.
For this, well,
Joey, how do you feel about me? We talked about buying houses.
no,
a long time ago.
Where it was going was like for this episode. That's why. For you. But we love you. We
Does
love
not
you.
feel that way.
Hey,
Well,
I love you.
Oh, we didn't introduce Terry this week. Terry,
yeah, Terry,
we got
Terry.
Terry Rozier.
He's back at it again, guys.
Of course, can't
Doing
stop
his
it.
thing.
Actually, we
Terry.
It's Terry, ladies and gentlemen.
less believable.
All right, let's go on now.
So we actually had our parents and loved ones telling us how we did on the first episode, and one of the biggest things that I got was most people like Terry, except for my mom. My mom thinks he's weird. So let us know what you think of
Yeah,
Terry.
let us know, please.
Actually,
Reach
this is a
out.
good opportunity. Yeah,
Yeah, reach
let
out.
us know.
What we
Let's
can
have a
do
poll.
to improve, to make the
Yeah, is
show
Terry
better.
good enough? Do you not like Terry? We won't tell him. We'll just read him and keep it between ourselves.
Yeah.
We'll shield him. He's not ready for a critique. But you let us know, and we can just have him in the room, but not on camera.
I don't
Just-
think he's pulling his weight.
He's actually very heavy.
He is.
Like he's heavier than you'd think. He's pretty heavy. I mean, again, he's metal. We established that last week. That was the big spoiler. So speaking of spoilers, as we move on now, we're going into entertainment news. And that was a beautiful segue. Can we all just appreciate that?
It was.
At the end of the episode, if you stay tuned, we're going to talk about Infinity War from Avengers. So definitely spoilers. We'll definitely let you know as soon as we
So
start
if
it.
you haven't seen this yet, just move.
Well, no.
Well,
Right now, you're fine.
Well, yeah, right
You're
now.
absolutely. It's going to be at
But
the end of the episode.
When we get to the end,
Why are you moaning over there? What are
Yeah,
you
we're
doing?
trying to-
I'm gonna have to leave.
Are you going to watch it?
okay, we need to get back to the show.
Just get out of here. Like,
Yeah, so
but yeah, so if you at the very end, we'll let you know right before we do it. It'll be after we do everything else, and then we'll just stay tuned and we'll talk about it. And again, with
if you don't
spoilers.
want to hear about it, then
Right.
Leave, please.
Right.
I recommend.
Uh,
Or go leave to the theater and go see it right now.
And then
because
come,
it's a
and
must see.
then, and then come back and watch / listen to us.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
So stay tuned. So entertainment news. Post Malone dropped his new album
Ooh,
finally.
Fire!
Thoughts? Okay.
Fire!
Those are your thoughts. Anybody else? Do you guys listen to it?
Like one song.
Yeah.
What's
Do you
that
like
one
hip hop?
song?
I listened to a little bit
He's
of
barely.
everything.
He's not really even hip hop. He's
Yeah,
like.
sure it's not.
I don't even know. What would you call Post Malone? He's just kind of like
Dude,
like
he's
new
He's
hip
a
hop.
man for the people, man.
He's a funny guy. Like from interviews
he's
I've seen
an
with him.
interesting fellow.
Yeah,
He's very,
interesting.
his style, his hair, his
Yeah.
tatted up, and he's just he does his thing. He goes on the mic and he just spits fire, man. That's what he does.
He's a talented musician.
He is.
Yeah, no, that's
I've seen him
yeah.
play like guitar and sing.
Yeah, he can do a lot of stuff. That's I don't know. He's an interesting guy, but that's what I'm saying. Like I have trouble kind of classifying him as hip hop because
Yeah.
he's not. He's not strictly. I don't know.
He's good though.
He is
That's all
good,
that matters. That's
and the
all that
album is very good too.
matters. I think every song on this album is fire.
Right, I was gonna say like I love albums like that, especially in the age of iTunes. It is so easy to have an album that really is just made up of like 3 or 4 singles
Right.
that are hits, and then the rest is all filler.
Exactly.
It's so easy to do that in the age
No,
of
you
iTunes,
can,
and
yeah.
so like because back in the day, people bought full albums
Right.
for a reason.
You go to the store and go buy CDs.
Right, and so
Nobody does
like
that anymore.
right, and so now if you have an album, I don't know, it's just I like it a lot. So speaking of new albums though, Janelle Monáe, who is my celebrity crush, and
Whoa. I know
and
that.
I will never meet her. So Tamara,
Hey, never say never.
Don't worry.
Maybe she's out there listening. Give her a shout out.
okay, I am happily taken, Janelle, but we can be good friends. I love your music. I respect everything about you as an artist and a human. I think you're awesome and very pretty.
That was beautiful, man.
Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. The album's really good. It's called Dirty Computer. It's super, super, super good.
Dirty Computer.
Dirty Computer. All of her albums
Interesting.
are tech in nature. So she had Arch Android and then Electric Lady, I think it's called. I didn't listen to that one. But Arch Android is really good. But this one is it's just really good. It's very good. It's very much worth a listen. She's got some really good features in all of her albums. She had Prince on one of her songs. I think Arch Android. So she's a phenomenal musician. She's also a phenomenal actor. She's killing it. And activist. So she's a really cool person. So on to Kanye, which you probably at least mentioned Kanye. You've been following more about this than me. I have really only kind of followed the bare bones.
Yeah. Well,
So
Kanye West is he's saying some things that maybe he shouldn't say.
is there
There's-
is there an update since?
his what? His Donald Trump post?
Yeah, because so he released 2 songs, but I think it was last week on Friday, and one was like a joke, and then the other one was it was called Kanye versus the People,
Yeah.
and it was him and T.I. rapping, and it was like Kanye was basically rapping his point of view, and then T.I. was rapping as basically representing everybody who's upset with him. And it was actually a really, really good song. It was interesting. I've never really heard a song like that. Again, I didn't really agree with a lot of what Kanye was saying on his parts, but it was an interesting song.
So from what I hear, he was on TMZ the other day, and he said that slavery was a choice. But he came out and explained himself and shout out a couple tweets and I don't get Kanye. I don't know what he's trying to get at. I don't know.
I really hope it's a performance piece thing.
Well, that's what they think because the album's coming out soon.
Yeah.
So
But the thing is, it's
saying that he was trying to.
It has to do, if it is a performance piece and it's some kind of stunt, it has to do with the album because it's attention wise, it's Kanye. He doesn't need attention.
No,
people know.
people know Kanye.
Like you
He's
say,
been around
Kanye's
forever.
releasing an album, people are going to be excited about
Exactly.
it. So it's not that. I think if it's a stunt, it's got something to do with the album. But it is weird because. But it's also interesting, I think, that Kanye is the kind of person that, when he started doing all this, you could not genuinely tell if he was kidding or not.
Yeah.
And that says a lot about who he is as a person. And it's hard to
I think he's
tell.
I think he's a confused person.
No, I think because when he started in the music industry, he was very much
He was out there. He said whatever he wanted to.
right, but he was also people didn't believe in him because he was just a producer before.
Right.
And so I think he respects people who come into an industry that they don't know anything about in such a way that he's ignoring everything else about that person. He just respects that one thing.
Yeah.
And so to him, that is a good person. I think that's a lot of what is happening too. I don't really know. But it's definitely interesting. We're going to keep tabs on it for sure.
Yeah.
But
I would just say, may God guide him on the right path. That's what I would say.
yeah, and
Because-
ultimately, I hope he's...
I hope he's alright. That's all, man.
Yeah, I
That's
hope
what
he's
it comes
okay.
down to.
Yeah. But this is a positive show.
Yeah, it is.
So we're going to stop talking about that.
Yes.
And move on to Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby and Roman Polanski, today, I think it was today, got expelled from the Academy of Motion Pictures, which is awesome. We're all super happy about that because good. They deserved it. Again, happy though. We're moving on to sports.
Sports.
We
love sports
Tell
here
us
at No Answers.
about sports. You love sports here at No Answers.
love sports.
We
I'm very
know
passionate
very
about
little
sports.
about sports. Tell us
Well, you know
in the
about what was that last week? You used to call Tom Brady. What did you call him again? You know I gotta make that back.
news. I don't remember that.
English. What did you call Tom Brady again?
Brad.
Brad Brady.
I
that's
called
it.
him Brad,
You
and then
called
I
him
cut
Brad.
myself off.
That's okay. All right. So in sports right now, we got the NBA playoffs. Second round's happening right now.
Okay.
Got my Boston Celtics. Represent
Fair,
my Celtics,
absolutely.
you know, in the second
Are
round.
you actually wearing them? Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
of course I am. We got
And the
plenty-
hat.
yeah,
Wow, look at you.
yeah,
Are you wearing shorts too?
I mean, no. I got my Jordan shorts on, but you know me. I gotta stay fresh.
Trey, did you even look at your cup?
Show them the cup, folks. That's right. That's a
even see.
collector's cup, limited edition at the Garden that I got.
The
It's
Garden. Limited edition
Right.
at the Garden.
Limited edition at the Garden.
Wow.
We got Celtics playing the second round right now, as I said
Okay.
three times.
So what does that mean
So
for those of us who don't know anything about basketball?
They are playing against the 76ers right now. They are
Okay.
1-0 in the series. It's a best of 7. So if they beat the Sixers in this series, they will go to the Eastern Conference Finals and play either Toronto or Cleveland to have a chance to go to the NBA Finals. And it's the best 2 teams from the East and the West. Hit that mic again. Sorry about that English.
That is a kill.
That is just it's
Yikes.
a kill of death. Look, that's what it is.
Oh, he's twisting.
It is. He'll get over it.
Okay, we made him laugh. It's good.
So that's what's happening, and then we got Tom Brady just announced, came out, he wants to play for a couple more years. His
Shocking.
wife gave him the okay to play for at least 2 more years, but I guess we'll.
How old is he now? 40?
Tom Brady's 40, and when the season starts, he'll be 41.
Okay.
So if he wins a Super Bowl next year, which I think
He'll be the oldest?
he'll be the oldest quarterback
Nice.
ever to win a Super
I
Bowl.
mean, I'm not surprised. I mean, how many records has he broken at this point? It's crazy.
A lot.
Yeah.
He's got 5 Super Bowls.
Gotta love that Brad. So,
Gotta love Brady.
um,
We also got the Red Sox, the Red Hot Red Sox.
Red Hot Red Sox.
My boy Mookie hitting homers like crazy. So shout out to my Red Sox for playing good ball right now. Mookie Betts, baby. Who doesn't love Mookie?
Who was the guy who he left like 2 years ago, maybe?
Big Poppy.
Yeah, Bill Poppy. I
Dominicano,
loved him.
baby.
Dude, he was like
Big
the
Poppy.
nicest guy ever. I loved seeing
He's a
him.
great man,
I
Big
miss
Poppy.
him.
I like
I've seen one game live of the
Big
Red
Poppy.
Sox. I loved it, and like I got to see him. I got a jersey with Ortiz on the back. Yeah, so I loved
He's a
it.
man. He's a man.
I miss him. So moving on from entertainment news, we're going to talk about. We're
sports
going to
news.
do. Well, that was still
Oh,
entertainment.
yeah, I
right?
guess so, yeah.
It's
They were
still kinda-
entertained.
it-
Are you not entertained?
It's different.
Great
You're
movie.
right. Wait, can you do the "Are You Not Entertained" voice?
Yeah, can you do that?
He's on his phone.
Russell Crowe?
Yeah, do
Yeah.
Russell Crowe.
He's
Fairly easy. I can do it.
you
Come on.
just kind of yell.
He just kind of yelled.
Well, I just did it, so it's okay. I guess Joey doesn't want to do it.
Are you not entertained?
That's good. That's better.
Yeah,
That's
I
better.
guess
Kind of
so,
what
too.
I don't.
That's good.
Movie
That
since
was
I was
scary,
like,
actually.
I didn't expect it. I will say also that is one of those lines that you hear the quote itself more than the source material. Like I don't know how often I've actually heard it, like actually the line. Then I've actually heard people just quoting it. Like, "Are you not entertained?"
it's a good movie. It's Gladiator.
I think I saw it when I was a kid. I don't remember
Me
anything
too.
about it.
When
It's
I was
been
a little kid.
long time. Yeah.
I was too young.
That
Too.
didn't stop me. Oh, speaking of too young, have you guys ever seen like a what was your first horror movie? Let's talk about that real quick.
Oh man, for me, it was like Halloween and Chucky.
Wow, you're old.
Yeah, I am.
And I'm saying that
Michael Myers.
as somebody who's
That,
4
like,
years
that
younger.
music and like him holding that. Like Michael, he's like he comes out of nowhere, and then Chucky, that evil doll, man. God, I hated that doll. That thing scares me.
I think prosthetics never really. Oh,
Will you relax?
getting way worse.
Wow.
Just you're making it
My
so.
shield!
Stop touching it! Oh my god! Just
Oh man. Sorry, folks. I'm gonna die.
he's
probably.
full on face palming, just
Wow.
like so. Oh my god!
God,
Just
get out of here. These lights. All right.
so
continue.
my first horror movie was The Ring, which is still to this day one of the scarier movies I've ever seen. So I remember my mom is a gifted woman when it comes to horror movies. So I cannot do this. She can fall asleep to scary movies. Just fall asleep. She'll go she'll put it on to go to watch it while she's tired, and she'll she lives alone, and with her cat, so she's buying a house soon. And she's she'll lie there and fall asleep to it, and then something crazy will happen on screen, and she'll wake up and she'll go, "Oh, it's just the horror movie," and she'll go back to sleep.
That is very interesting.
It's a skill. I could never do that.
No.
I have to be prepped for a horror movie, and then I have to turn it off, and then mind bleach. I have to watch something funny before I can go to sleep. As a full grown adult, I have to at least kind of reset.
There's nothing wrong with that,
Right.
right?
And so I don't know how she does it. So she was watching The Ring casually one night, fell asleep to it, woke up early the next morning, late to work, ran off, and left the DVD menu on. If you guys remember DVDs, back in the day, DVDs are still around. I'm saying,
I know they are.
Back in the day, DVD menus were way worse now than what they are now. Because back in the day, DVD menus, the song would just play forever, and it was very short bursts. I don't know what is different about DVD menus now, but they're not as bad. I don't know what they've changed, or if they just made most of them silent now. I don't know.
Blu-ray now, so
Yeah. So but DVD menus in the beginning, this was the beginning. They would just repeat after seconds, and so the Ring's DVD title menu was the chair upside down and spinning with this creepy music. And my friend was staying in the night, and we could hear it from my room, and we just kind of huddled under my blanket, terrified.
Oh my God.
And because we woke up to it. And cause she I don't know, she turned the TV up when she was on her way out to work or something like that. She might have done that where she turned it up instead of turning it off or something. I don't know. But it's loud, blaring, and we're in my room going.
Did you guys go into the?
We dared each other. We were daring each other to go turn it off. I think I ended up going to turn it off, and that's how I knew it was a chair spinning.
Oh.
It was horrifying. Because that was my first experience with The Ring. A year later, I watched it finally, and it killed me.
That's very scary.
I'm
What about you, Joe?
died.
Yeah,
So
but
hit us with your favorites. Or first, not favorites. First.
First horror movie that I recall watching, it's probably Signs, I think.
Yes,
Some-
good
some-
choice.
Some good old. Some
Wait,
Mel,
how young
some
are you?
Good old Mel. I was young.
How old are you now?
24.
Oh, she's younger than me.
Um,
I mean, my first one was The
Yeah.
Ring, so I can't really talk.
No, that was.
I love
man,
Signs.
That was scary when the alien put the hand through the chimney on the kid's shoulder. That
Oh
got
yeah,
me- that got me
the
pretty
coal,
bad.
the coal.
Yeah.
It's not even a chimney.
jeez.
It's a coal.
I don't know. It
It's,
was
they were in
some
the
kind of a
basement. It's like a
furnace, yeah.
what do you call it?
A basement?
Yeah.
Yes, they call that little thing for coal.
The chimney?
The basement.
Oh, the
The
chimney.
chimney.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It's a chimney.
It was maybe that or the first Land Before Time movie.
Wow.
When his grandmother died, as well as his mom.
Do
When
you
his
know what
mom
sad
dies,
and horror are? Can you distinguish those?
I have a hard time with feelings.
All feelings are just too
Emotions.
much for me. What about you, English? What was your first horror movie?
Same thing. Signs.
Signs for
Me
both
and
of
my
you?
sister, we watched it. It scared us. And then this was back in elementary school. So then we should start at night the first time. And every day after school, during daylight, we would watch it for the next week or two until we were over it.
That's hilarious. You guys, what do you call that?
Conditioned yourself.
Conditioning. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's so funny. Condition therapy.
Survival.
You could have just never watched the movie again, but you were like, no, I want to know that the movie exists and that I know that I'm okay with it existing. That's funny. That's
the kind of
almost.
person Tyler is, though.
That's kind of impressive
that's
as a
why I'm where
child.
I am now. Think of that.
That's how he is. That's what.
There's a lot of
it is.
it causes a lot of things,
Yeah, it is.
doesn't it?
It messed him up, I think.
That's why
Speaking of Signs and M. Night Shyamalan, actually, I think my first interaction with a scary movie was Sixth Sense. Because I remember it was such a huge thing, when it first came out. Everybody watched it. And I think it was one of the... No, that was a dumb thought. But I remember my family was going crazy about it, all the adults, and me and the other kids were watching Space Jam in my room for the 90th time.
You love Space Jam.
And it was during the VCR was rewinding the tape. which takes about 10 minutes.
Yep.
And so during that interim, I was like, I'm going to go see what's going on with this movie our parents are watching. So I went out there and I was like, I want to watch. And they're like, no. And I was like, I want to watch. And then it stopped. And then I turned around and looked at the screen. And it's the part where the kid who died, like hunting or something like that, in a hunting accident. So he's got like blood or something like that. And he goes like, I'll show you where my dad's got the guns. And then he starts to walk and it's just like blood. And I was like, so I didn't want to watch anymore. And then I went and watched the Monstars lose.
That's right. Bugs Bunny took care of business like he always does.
Absolutely.
That special water they had.
Secret stuff.
Secret stuff. That's what it was. It was really water.
Have you ever watched Space Jam?
I have. I'm just the motion he made there.
Got some secret stuff in that bottle then?
Yeah.
Kiko?
Secret stuff.
It is.
Oh man,
Alright,
I'm excited to look back at what that clip looks like.
That's gonna look great.
I think we found our thumbnail. So moving on, we stole a couple ideas. We say stole generously. From that article that we read about like what are some good podcast ideas. So for mine, we're gonna do the Trey random fact, I guess is what we're calling it. That's what the bullet point says. I don't know if that's an official name or if he's just
let's go with it.
typing.
Tyler's
What are our
always
thoughts?
typing.
Is that the official name?
I was just typing.
He's just typing. So
go with that,
we'll stick a
alright?
pin in that. No, that's not the official name. We'll just stick a pin in it.
Whatever.
We'll name it something else.
Fine, whatever.
But for
Whatever
now,
makes you
it's
happy.
the random fact as said by Trey. So today's random fact. In 1902 in Mississippi, there was an African-American female postmaster, and eventually she was pressured out of her job because Mississippi in 1902. And President Roosevelt actually continued to pay her federal salary, and then he punished the town by rerouting their mail to Greenville, which was 30 miles away.
Oh,
Which is hilarious to me. And her name was Minnie Cox, so she's an awesome person.
that's
And so that was just a really cool, like, I loved that they got, I mean, because 30 miles back in 1902, that's a long time.
It is.
Like, think about it. Like, you got on a horse, that's like a day's ride, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a while.
Done.
So, all right. So then we're going to go to Kiko's quote.
Quotes.
I actually like that, though. So that's a better name.
Yeah, I like it.
Because
Kiko quotes.
Trey's random fact is not great, but Kiko's quotes.
It flows off the tongue. Kiko quotes.
It's the, what do you call that? Alliteration? Is that yeah.
That's beautiful.
Kiko's quote. All right, go.
So the quote of the day, I'm going to read it now. I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. And that is by Michael Jordan.
Oh, I'm so glad that you cited it this time. Last time he did a quote, he kept it a secret.
I didn't keep it a secret. It was from a movie, and I shared it with you guys, and you guys didn't even know about the movie, and I was kind of disappointed. So I'm just
You didn't share it to us until you said, "Don't worry about it" 4 times.
Well,
Who's that from? Don't worry about it. Yeah, but what's it from?
Don't worry about it.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up. The song of the day. If you guys have heard of the Walmart yodeling kid, of course you have. He released an album, or not an album, a single. And his name's Mason Ramsey, Ramsey, and the song's called "Famous." I don't even like country, but the song is actually kind of precious. If I'm allowed to use that word.
That's adorable.
It's adorable. Like, I mean, I can see, and he's got he's got solid vocal control, clearly. As you can see from the video, I can see this kid doing something if he sticks with it.
Special.
Yeah. I mean, this kid has transcended the meme, and I think he can actually build a career on this. So, as his grandpa said, he's been singing since before he was talking. So, which is cool. So hopefully we'll see. And Mason Ramsey is kind of a cool name anyway. So
it is.
Maybe we'll see him around. So Mason Ramsey, song of the day, "Famous." So we'll link that in the description below. All right. So that about does it for our non-spoiler segment of the show. If you have not seen Avengers Infinity War,
They're going to see it right now.
Yeah, get out of here and then come back and listen to this part.
Okay.
But from here, are you actually going to leave?
Bye.
All right. So we'll use this moment to let Joey leave.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure, Joey. We'll try not to take more than 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Just for
We
you.
haven't seen it yet, which is kind of disappointing. So yeah, we'll see this one.
Is he just going to stand there in the door? God, that's creepy. We need to get some
Speaking of
blinds
scary
or something.
Movies, God dang it, that is
Yikes.
scary. All right. Let's go.
I'm actually uncomfortable with it. Okay, so we'll just kind of...
Just pretend he's not there. Oh, you gotta hit Terry, man.
Bye, Terry.
Terry.
All right, so let's talk about Infinity War.
Man.
Thoughts on the ending? English. Here, focus on us.
English, we're over here.
He finally left. Bye. All right, so thoughts on the ending, you guys. What are we thinking? Do we want to do like thoughts on overall?
Yeah, let's just do like, where do we begin?
Because I have feelings and I want to dish them out. So
Just go over the whole thing, start to finish.
yeah. So like, what do you guys think of like?
Crazy movie, a lot of action.
Mm-hmm.
It kept me on the edge of my seat, like just the excitement, and it had you guessing like what's gonna happen,
Yeah.
who's coming, like where is this all, like how is everything gonna work together? Like
Yeah.
it was.
Let's just point out to everybody that we are not comic book people. We go
Yeah.
solely based off the movies.
yes.
Absolutely. If this is the
We
first
talked about
episode-
this last week.
Yeah, if this is the first episode you've watched, we don't know anything about
don't know
comics. We're not comic
so,
people.
yeah.
We are,
Movies.
I think, varying degrees of serious about the MCU. Have we all seen every single one of them?
I've seen every single one.
You've seen every single one? And
Multiple
the way
times.
you said, yeah. So he's,
multiple times.
so I'm going to stick with what I said. Varying degrees of serious. And then if you've seen every single one,
Pretty much.
that's pretty much where I am.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much, I think I've missed one.
Here and there.
And then there's a couple that I just
Didn't really care about.
didn't care at all.
Yeah, I know.
Like the first Captain America sucked. I'm sorry, it was a bad movie. I didn't like it at all. Okay, and those who don't agree with me, go back and watch it right now. After everything,
I actually watched it last night. It was.
the first Captain America.
Yeah.
How boring is
it
it?
was boring.
It's boring.
Yeah.
It's a very boring movie. Like
It told
and
a story though, so like,
well,
it
I
kinda,
think
like,
I think
I
it's one
think
of those
most of
films.
the origin ones are kind of boring.
I remember liking Iron Man,
was
I-
awesome.
but
Iron
that's
Man,
also
yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. He carries it. I
he
mean,
kills it.
yeah, and like Thor was boring, but Thor I said last week I didn't like Thor.
Jesus
I didn't like.
Christ.
Oh my god! It took me a second to see it.
Sorry, folks.
He's in the window with a flashlight.
Jesus. Oh my god.
You're
Oh,
a burden.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Oh, and now he's
I need a
slowly.
drink of water to
Where is he?
Oh, he's gone, and I'm sure he's gonna
Oh,
pop up somewhere else.
That's
This
probably-
feels a bit like Signs.
It does.
Like he's just slowly.
Uh,
He's gonna be on the roof and start running. So he's distracting us, guys. Come on, come on.
Let's go.
We're talking about
Let's
it.
stay
We're
focused
discussing serious things. All right. Hey, bring it back. Bring it
Bring
back
it
here.
back.
We're here. We're here.
We're here.
So, see, I don't even know. Oh, yeah. So Robert Downey Jr. He can make anything entertaining.
Exactly. He
Thor, I didn't find interesting before
I
Ragnarok.
don't find him in the movies. I don't
Ragnarok
like
was sick.
Yeah,
Have
that
you
was
seen
very
Ragnarok
good.
was really
No,
good.
he was good.
But
He was good in
Thor
Infinity.
is awesome in the Avengers though, but not like he's.
No, before Infinity War, he wasn't that great yet either.
I mean,
I mean, he was cool, but he's like he's a superhero, whatever. But like, he wasn't like who
He's a
he is
god.
now. Now he's
God.
a god.
Well,
Like,
he was
it's-
before.
It was crazy what they've done to him. Like they
Yeah.
completely revamped him, and I love it. And like his personality is more interesting now too.
He's actually kind of funny.
Yeah,
In this one, he was
which I
actually
love.
funny.
No, he was funny in Ragnarok. He was hilarious in
Yeah, he
Ragnarok.
was. But in the
Um,
Avenger movie, this was like the
yeah.
first one where he kind of like
Yeah, well, because Ragnarok kind of opened him up as this new.
character. A different,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but I find Captain America the first movie terribly boring. It took me a long time to watch Civil War because I thought it was going to be another Captain America, but
Civil War
in a
was-
way, it was like Avengers 3.
Yeah,
Like,
Civil
it
War was
was-
good actually.
I loved it.
It was good.
Because I didn't watch it until late though because
Yeah.
I
I was
avoided it.
skeptical too at first because the first
Yeah.
one was like kind of boring. And like,
Yeah.
is this something so
And now, in Captain America's defense, I didn't see Captain America until after the first Avengers, so it's possible it was one of those that was good before, but now that everything's happened, you can't watch it.
Yeah.
What is he actually doing something?
I don't know.
I can't
He's
see
the
him.
worst. So, anyway,
Wait, is he on the roof?
he's actually on the roof.
What?
Holy dude, he's gonna make us fall. White. He's a loose cannon, that guy.
Yeah, he is. Yes, he is. Wow, that is. It reminds me
I mean,
of
I'm-
Jeepers Creepers.
Well, it's like Signs.
Yeah.
He's actually on the roof. I mean, I'm impressed with the tenacity of this guy. Like, wow. He could have gone inside and sat on the couch and talked to Ashley for a little while,
could've-
but
he
he
could've
wanted
talked to my
he
wife,
wanted to
but-
do this.
Said he wanted to come out here. Shout out to my wife, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Let
shout
me
out to
try
Claire.
something. I'm gonna go get a quick video of him.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, guess
Are we
what?
Are we still running?
Yeah, we
you
are.
You guys keep going.
Okay.
Okay, we'll just go.
Let's get some eyes on him.
Hey, reenact the cursing scene with Mel Gibson. Because you know the scene where he doesn't know how to swear. He's just running around.
I have no idea.
Wow.
Signs.
It was a long time ago.
English.
You saw it
Lot of
90
help.
times in a week. You just told us.
Yeah, but I don't remember the quotes. It's
That's like one of
I
my
remember
favorite
being
things in the
scared.
world. Where he's like running around. He doesn't know how to swear because he's like an ex-pastor.
Yeah, no.
So funny. So
I don't even know where. All right, let's just get back to the movie.
yeah.
Okay.
So
What was your thoughts of the movie?
I loved it 100% until the end. The end made me start. I didn't.
Oh, that is. I don't know if you people can hear this. They're,
It's loud.
both
I don't
on
know.
Our roof right now.
No, they're not both on the roof.
Yeah, they have to be. That's
No, I think he just ran.
all right. I don't know. All right.
I'm glad. I'm glad this is still recording
Yeah,
because something is gonna fall.
If we die or something happens, we will. You guys, we love you.
Mom,
That's
take out a life insurance policy, man, real quick. Oh, wait, this is live.
It's
Crap.
not live. No, it's not live.
So I just. Dude, he's testing the strength of your roof.
I know he is. This would be a good time for bird noises. All right, let's continue this.
I'm
let's
curious
go.
to see if they'll be able to hear that.
I'm sure they will. They have to be. These mics pick up pretty good noise.
I can see.
Yeah, they're out there.
I feel vulnerable. Like,
I feel like
I'm
we're being hunted
exposed.
by lions right now in Africa.
I don't like
we're
that. Well, if we were hunted by lions, they couldn't open. He's pretending to be a T-Rex. I don't.
Get ready
Why
for
is
the
his
new,
arms like that?
Jurassic
What is he
Park
doing?
movie. That's what Joey does. He's a very interesting fellow, but that's why we love him.
Why is he doing that?
I don't know. Just
I can't even see what he's doing, but it's weird.
Well, all right, let's get back to the people. We're here for the people, not for Joey, okay? The Avengers. Great movie. The ending was sad
Yeah,
when
I
Spider-Man was like,
that broke my heart, dude. When people started disappearing, my heart actually felt like it hurt.
Mr. Stark, I'm not feeling really well.
He sold that, man. Like,
Yeah, he did.
He
That was great.
sunk into his shoulder, and he was like, "Oh man."
Man, that was deep.
Like
man.
he felt like a kid.
I don't know what's gonna happen, man. And now we have to wait another year for
Yeah.
the next one to come out.
So
Like, it's crazy. What are we gonna do? Think about this. 1 year.
well, we got Ant-Man to tie us
Oh
all
my
in.
God, good. We got Ant-Man. We're gonna be.
I mean,
okay.
I'm excited about.
Ant-Man.
I'm excited about. I like Ant-Man.
He's an interesting character. Him and Wasp. Ant-Man and Wasp Man.
Yeah,
you think it is?
no, it's the Wasp.
Oh,
It's,
the
it's,
Wasp.
It's what's her name? It's the girl.
I don't know.
She's the Wasp.
Yeah.
Did you see the first one?
Yeah, I did. Well,
Yeah,
Michael Douglas.
it's the girl.
Yeah.
It's Michael Douglas's daughter.
Oh,
I can't-
that's right.
I can't
Okay,
remember her
alright.
name. I love her. Evangeline Lilly. I think she was in Lost.
Not really sure. Oh boy.
This is
okay.
not how we
This-
expected
yeah,
this to go.
Wow, this is really crazy.
whatsoever.
Wow, it's okay though. All right. Any other thoughts you want to share with the people
Did
about
you kill him?
Infinity War?
That's classified.
He killed him. All right. Well,
All right.
we are taking applications for a new special guest.
Do you if anybody wants to be a guest on our show,
Oh, yeah.
give us a shout out.
Literally, just hit us up.
Yeah, hit us up,
Tweet
let
us. Hit us up on Facebook. We have a
Snapchat us, whatever
whatever.
you want to do, whatever you got to do to message
Um,
us, get a hold of us.
yeah.
We'll bring you on. Skylar,
so-
let's ask Skylar what he thought of the
yeah.
movie.
So what were like ultimate like total thoughts about it? We should probably go
Like in the next 40 seconds.
Yeah, let's
give
try
us a
to-
rundown.
not 40 seconds, but like
Well, I mean, I thought overall it was a really good movie. But my fear is where they're going to draw the line here. Because you bring into the whole time stone thing. He's already reversed time once. Are they just going to reverse time, bring everybody back? And if they do that, where does the line stop? Doctor Strange won't let them destroy the stone if he comes back.
I don't think that's what's gonna happen.
But Doctor Strange gave up the stone so willingly.
He did.
So
Right,
he
because
knew
he knew something, right.
what's going
Here's-
to take for him to win.
Here's my theory.
That's part of what he takes to win, right?
Yeah, here's my theory. My theory is because if you look, everybody who disappeared still has franchise life left. Like they're still young. Black Panther just came out.
Spider-Man just came out.
Homecoming was last year.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Like, oh, all the Guardians died except for Rocket. everybody's. I mean, like these are people that have a few movies left in them, like.
Which is why I don't think they're all
Right.
dead.
So what I think is going to happen, because everybody who's left was like a lot of the originals. So what I think is going to happen is the next one, the part 2 of this movie, is going to be one last hurrah with all the originals and like a couple extras, you know. So it's going to be like, you know, Hulk, Captain America.
If the Hulk comes out, he was a little scary.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like it'll close his arc because he'll come out and then it'll be kind of like the last hurrah.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be a big one with all the originals. And then you remember what they were saying on that mountain thing with Thanos and Gamora about a soul for a soul?
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen. I think all the ones who survived are going to trade their lives for all the ones who died.
Interesting.
Because like it has to flip somehow. Because the ones who lived, a lot of them were the ones I was expecting to die. I was expecting one of the big ones. Like I expected Captain America to go. Like I fully expected him to die.
See, I was the opposite. I didn't think any of the big ones would die.
Well, they're not big ones anymore. They're old ones. That's
Well,
the
no,
thing.
no, but they're still the big ones. They're the
Yeah,
they're the
but they're
originals.
the big ones because they've been around for a while.
They're
at this
the
point.
originals. They're the ones that the kids idolize. You know,
Right.
they're
But
not-
like
they're
that's what I'm
not
saying.
gonna-
Like,
Stars.
what? How did the Avengers start though? Remember they said like you can't have an Avengers without somebody to avenge.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be a big death soon, like a big one. Like Gamora, I didn't expect that at all. Like I fully expect her to come back. There's no way she's gone. I
She
just
fell off a cliff.
so
People don't.
half of the world, the
They just
universe just
reversed
disappeared.
time to right before
Listen,
Thanos arrives.
this is my theory.
But like
about
then
them.
why not
And
do
then-
that originally? I just don't know.
This is my theory. They are gonna still be making these movies because Disney and Marvel makes billions of dollars.
Well,
and
that's
they're
why-
gonna still be making these movies.
That's why it's confusing because
Exactly.
like I don't know.
Who knows?
But I think also that Marvel Studios like understands that a good character plot and like an arc is more important than a franchise. Like you know what I mean? Like so
Yeah.
they're not gonna like, well, we can't kill this person who just, you know, fully realized their potential and closed their storyline.
Yeah.
We're not gonna keep him alive just to sell more dolls. You know, like
Yeah,
that, you know,
that's true.
that's not who they are. They've already established they're not that way. They'll like I feel like they're not gonna pander and sell out like that.
It'll be interesting to see though. when
I think it's
that
gonna be.
comes
I
out.
think it'll be
gonna
rewarding.
good,
I
yeah.
think this year is gonna be the worst part of it
Yeah, just
because
the
in the
wait.
future, people are gonna be able to go, "Wow, that hurt." Like how we
Right,
felt afterwards, they're gonna
exactly.
feel that and then go, "All right, put the next one in."
Yeah, exactly. But
So I think this year is gonna be the worst part of it.
it'll be tough. But
I
we'll
think
get
it's.
through it.
I think it's hilarious though, and I hope they reference it somehow. That Ant-Man is the next movie, and it's soon. It's like in a month. I
Yeah.
hope because like just the way Ant-Man
because
is.
he wasn't even in this movie,
Right.
Which was
Well,
Which
weird.
I think was actually
the
smart
Ant-Man
because-
movie is gonna take place before this.
Oh,
From what I've heard.
So we have to go check that out then.
Okay.
Because it might lead up to like why he wasn't in the movie or
Oh, it definitely will
Yeah.
say why he wasn't in the movie.
yeah, because that was weird.
Oh, maybe he dies.
No, Ant-Man doesn't die.
I don't know.
Because he's Ant-Man.
Ant-Man doesn't die.
Ant-Man doesn't die.
Where did you get this rule?
I'm just saying that. I made it up. I'm Kiko Fresh. That's what I do. I
Black
make up
Panther
stuff.
doesn't die.
Yeah, Ant-Man doesn't. Black Panther doesn't die either. He's a man.
Well,
He
he's
just
dead.
died.
He's dead right now.
Maybe that's what we think. He's
No,
not be alive.
They're all
As
dead.
of right now.
No,
they're
as of
dead.
right now, they're factually dead.
They
'Cause
could come
he's-
back.
He snapped his fingers and half the universe died.
Wakanda for life, baby. That's all I have to say.
I mean, I agree.
Isn't it?
Exactly.
He
Isn't it?
better come
isn't-
back. Because,
isn't
well, they
it
already
Wakanda
slated.
forever.
It's Wakanda for life, Wakanda forever.
It's
Same
forever.
thing, you know?
No,
Right.
forever is past death, which would actually be very symbolic right now because he's dead.
Okay, Trey, thank you for clarifying that for the viewers and for me. All right, folks.
Well, no,
That was
they've
great.
already slated Black Panther 2, so it's definitely gonna happen.
All right,
I,
they will.
I don't know.
It's so much mystery.
It's a
Maybe
lot of
we can
mystery.
have a show next time dedicated just for Avengers. We should
We could do that. We could absolutely do that.
Yeah, we can.
So we're gonna
All
probably
right.
wrap it out
We're gonna
now.
wrap it up now.
Joey's back.
Joey's back now.
The,
Party's
God,
gonna
you're the
be now.
worst.
That was scary.
Were you
Joey.
actually running on the roof?
No.
Of course he would deny it. So we're gonna wrap
All
up
right, we're
here.
gonna wrap it up.
Thanks so much for joining us
Thank
and
you
sticking
very
around.
much.
Those of you who have actually seen the movie.
Hope you guys liked
If you
it.
watched that and you haven't seen the movie, you are the kind of person that I don't understand.
Go check it out.
And that scares me.
Go see it.
Just go watch it.
Yeah,
Don't spoil
please,
it for
don't.
yourself. Why would you do that? So we're not gonna put anything else special here because it's not people's fault that they haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So
So,
yeah, we're gonna
we're
end
done.
it there. So I'm Trey. This
Kiko
is
Fresh.
Kiko. Yep, we got English there, and then
A special guest, Creepy Joey.
I broke both of my legs.
was it when you jumped off? I heard both of those feet just go
Interesting.
like on that concrete. That felt good.
My roof falls in, you will have to buy me.
I was telling him, I was like, you were testing that strength.
This
Anyway,
is not a safe work environment.
You
All right.
join us next week.
Join us next week.
Next Friday, hopefully. We'll try to get this one posted tomorrow. I know that last week we posted on Saturday, which is not when we said we would, but it took 24 hours for it to actually process the episode. So
We apologize.
we're working out the kinks. I give you my word though, once we have gotten it down, like, and we know what we're doing perfectly, we will have them every Friday. Like that is our promise
gonna
to
be the
you.
plan.
That's what we're doing. So as of now, if it comes out on Saturday again, we're still working on it. I'm sorry. We will eventually go back and rewrite history though and say that they've always been Friday.
Yeah, we will.
And
We
you
will do
can't stop us.
Nope. Because we're the Avengers.
Yep. All right. So
All right.
on that note,
All right.
we'll see you next week.